Hello, and welcome to your new lead management system. This lead management system is where all your digital leads will be funneling into over the course of your campaigns here at Progressive Dental. Now, what you're going to do to get into your system is you're going to go to the URL app.progressivedental.com. You'll see that located right up here. Now, we suggest using Google Chrome. This system works best on Google Chrome. If you do not have Google Chrome and you only use Internet Explorer, you are more than welcome to do that. I can't guarantee the effectiveness of this software and its tools through Explorer. I know 100% everything will work through Google Chrome. Now, your username and password are going to be the email address you provided to the account manager, and the password is going to be specific to each user and practice. Now, both the username and password should have been provided to you from your account manager. If they have not been, please email him or her after this video to make sure you have that. This software, just like most, the more you use it, the easier it's going to become to do the things that we're about to go over. If for some reason when you first log in and you're running into issues, please rewatch this video. There should be other accompanying videos for other options as to what you can do through the system. Rewatch those, whatever you need. You're also more than welcome to call us if you're running into issues. So let's go ahead and log in and see what this looks like. Okay, once we're in, you're going to be directed to the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is a great 10,000 foot view as to what's going on. As you can see here, we have our opportunities. What's our overall pipeline value based off of estimated and treatment plan values. Now I'm going to go over this a little bit later as to what that means. And our overall conversion rate. As I scroll a little bit further, we have some funnels here. The funnel on the left gives us our total lead funnel. So where everybody has gone through the funnel total from once we started to today. The one on the right is real time. Where's everybody at right now in the pipeline? Go a little bit further, we have our task section. This is going to be specific to the user when they first log in, but we can also check other users as well and where that task is at what stage. Now we have the lead source report. The lead source report is a great place to look at for how our campaigns are doing. So where are the bulk of our leads coming? What are the value of those leads? How are those leads converting? This is where all your account manager, your digital strategist, this is where we're gonna look when we're looking at increasing budget, changing budget, redirecting budget, whatever it may be. This is where we're gonna spend a bulk of our time, seeing where everything's working. Further down, we have direct reports from Facebook, Google Ads, Google My Business, our website reporting, and we have overall internet kind of sentiment, kind of how we get all of our reviews and all that in here as well. So these direct reports, like I said, are direct. They're coming straight from the source. There's no way that we could change these numbers. These are true net numbers as to what's going on. And that's it. So that is our dashboard. Like I said, it's a great 10,000 foot view, something to come in and check daily. I wouldn't say you have to check it all the time, just roughly every day, kind of when you're drinking that morning coffee, just kind of seeing where things are. We can adjust these times frames so you can look at it within last week against this week and stuff like that. Last month against this month. It's a great way to kind of see how we're progressing and making changes and alterings and where changes need to be. Now let's take a look at where your leads are going to be living. Our leads will live in what's called the opportunity section. It's the one here with the two horizontal bars. We click into it and here is our pipeline. So the pipeline goes lead, first call, second call, third call, lead contacted, no appointment scheduled, treatment planned, closed, no show, and no communication. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly go over what each stage of the pipeline does, and then we're going to jump into kind of how we go and talk with the lead. So every lead that comes in is going to get an opportunity card. Now these opportunity cards are going to have a couple different aspects to them, and they're going to give us a lot of great information. So let's say our leads filled out the form on Facebook, Google, whatever it may be. Now I mentioned earlier how each one's going to get an estimated value. Based off of what campaign they're in and based off of how they fill out that evaluation, it's going to give us this estimated value. Now this estimated value will follow them all the way into each stage of the pipeline, accumulating how many leads are in there and what are their values at the top of each pipeline. Now this is also going to reflect in our dashboard as well. So the first 4 sections of the pipeline here, lead, first call, second call, and third call, all have automatic emails and text messages that go out. So as soon as this opportunity card is put into this section, which happens right when the lead is created, they're going to get an automatic text message and email. If we take this card, and the way you move a card is very simple, you just grab it, you just click on it and move. We move that lead to first call. Then there's a series of text messages and emails that will go out to that lead that associate being called, but nothing's been picked up. There's 2 manual aspects that we're going to require the office to do. We're going to need to actually call the leads, and then we're actually going to have to move this card into the correct stages of the pipeline. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so the lead's been populated. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to call the lead. Lead doesn't pick up, we leave a voicemail. Then we simply just take it and move it to first card. That way, any user, let's say there's 3 or 4 people that have access to this, that they can go into the pipeline and they know that this lead here has been called one time with no communication. And we're going to do that all the way through until we've called the lead at least 3 times. So let's say we call them again, nothing. Second call, we call them again, nothing. Third call, and now they're sitting here in third call with no communication. We've called once, twice, 3 times, and now we're just going to call them one last time. Now when we call them here, nothing happens. We're going to move them all the way over here to no communication. No communication is a simple one that basically means that we've tried everything we can to contact the lead and nothing. We've got no response. Now, let's take it back to the beginning here. Okay, let's say lead comes in, we call the lead, we actually connect with the lead, but for some reason they can't book an appointment. They're at work, they need to check with their spouse, whatever the case may be. It happens, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to take the lead, and we're going to put in the lead contacted, no appointment schedule. Now this stage of the pipeline was created because there's no automation associated with this. So this means that we don't put them on the first call, because then they're going to get a text message that says, hey, we tried to call you and we weren't able to connect. Well, actually we did call them and we were able to connect. So this gives us that opportunity. Now this stage of the pipeline is very important because all these people know who we are, we've contacted them, but we haven't been able to get them in the office. So this is a stage of the pipeline we don't want to get very in depth with. We don't want to have a lot of leads in this section. We want to be able to move them into this appointment scheduled section. So we called the lead, we got our appointment scheduled, boom, we put them in scheduled. Now the lead has come in and we've treatment planned them, and we're going to actually adjust this again. One missing tooth actually turned into a multiple situation. So now we're going to adjust that lead value. This is the treatment plan value. So let's say that we actually get super granular with it. Let's say it's $25,999 or $25,499, whatever it may be, whatever that exact value is that we treatment plan for them. We're going to update that card. That's going to showcase here. We're going to move them to treatment plans. Now, every office is a little bit different. And some offices, right then and there, they treatment plan, they close them. Some people treatment plan them, send them home, talk to their spouse, bring them in for another appointment, and then close them then. So we have this treatment plan section, which is great. But then we have this closed section as well. So the closed section is going to be for anybody that has verbally committed, signed a paper or anything like that, but there's been no money transaction, there's been no movement in treatment, nothing. So we've closed the lead, but nothing has transpired. So what's going to happen is when we get a deposit, when we get some sort of treatment started, anything like that, we're going to take the card and we're going to move it to this one category down here. And that's going to mean that we actually won that lead. That lead has moved forward. This value, this $25,499, has been won and is going to be coming into the practice. All right, so let's say we have appointment scheduled and they no-show. Nothing happens. Then we simply just put them into no-show. So that's essentially how this pipeline works and how the stage of the pipelines work. The opportunity card, I want to jump into that a little bit more because it's got a lot of, like I said, it's got a lot of great value. So we have the initial click on the card, which gives us all this great information of how to contact them, where they are in the pipeline. We can move them. You don't have to click and drag. You can just, no communications all the way on the other side. You can just click no communication. You can update, and you'll see that opportunity card is now all the way in the no communication section. So instead of scrolling all the way over, it's another simple, easy way we can do that. Now, another thing is our task and notes can be left in here. You see we can add a task simply from the card. We can task somebody to say, call this lead at 5 p.m. before we leave, something like that. We can put in the cell phone number here, 704-806-2868. It's my cell phone number if anybody wants to call me. So there's all that information there, and we can update that. And we can actually assign this task to somebody in the office. So once it's assigned, that user logs in. Right there on that dashboard, remember we had that task section? That's going to be showcased right there. We can also delete the lead if we need to. I don't think we'll ever run into that situation, but we can. Now, another great aspect of this is that you click on the name itself, it jumps into all the conversation with that task. Here's all the texts and emails we sent out. Here's a phone call that's happened. Here's some of the text he's been texting back with. And we go into additional info and we can see all the information that they filled out in their form. Now mine's not clearly filled out because I just put this lead in here for the video, but all of these will have little green buttons next to them on the ones that they filled out. And this is going to help with our communication. Right in here, we could send text messages and emails directly to that lead right through this platform. Let's say we were able to call them and we weren't able to connect. We move them into that first call and that series of text message and emails goes out. But we also want to send another text message straight from the office. So we go in and we say, hey, this is Sally from X practice, and I really would like to talk to you about your current situation and how we can work together. Feel free to text me if that's easier. We could do something like that and we could send it. Okay, so that's another great aspect. It jumps right into where all that is. Like I mentioned earlier, we also have the task and notes section here. We can put all that information in here as well. So we have notes. I've already put some notes in here. Called lead on Monday. This lead likes to be called Christopher, not Chris, which brings up another good point. We have a lot of people that will use full names in the form, but then they also go by nickname, and then that way we can do that also on the card itself. So we can go here. This is the contact name, but then the opportunity name we can adjust. So the opportunity name, we're going to just take out the Topher part and just put Chris, if that's what I want to go by. And then you'll see it updates here. So then our communication can be adjusted there. That kind of wraps up how we can communicate with the lead within this section, how the pipeline itself works, and how to move the lead. This is very important because your account manager and all your digital strategists have access to this. And we're going to keep a look at to see how these leads are doing and where they are in your pipeline and how our closing percentage is going. How is our appointment schedule going? What's our no-show, no communication ratio? It's really going to help us kind of narrow down the marketing. And that also helps internally as well. Next, we're going to go over what happens if a lead texts me back. Okay, obviously we don't see that here, right? There's no big red dots or anything of me responding or anything like that. So how do I know when someone has texted back? Okay, now let's talk about where to find when a lead texts us back. There's going to be two spots you can do this. I recommend one over the other. The first place that you're going to look to see if someone has texted us back is you're going to click this little notification section with the orange dot. If it's got an orange dot, that means something's going on. Someone has texted you back. So you click that, and now you can see who all has texted you back. Now all you have to do to text that person back is you can find that person here in your lead. You can search them in the search bar, or you just click on it. click on it, and it'll direct you into what's called the Conversations tab. It's right here on the left-hand side. It's got the speech bubbles. Okay, this is the second place you can look. Now within this window here, we have 3 tabs: unread, recents, and all. Recents and all are pretty self-explanatory, and they're kind of like the storage space for all the conversations we had with the leads. Unread is important because obviously unread, right? We want to make sure we read everything that comes through. But unread can also be not responded to, because I can go here and I could click on our lead that we've been talking about. And remember, we saw all this through the opportunity section, right? But it's still unread, or in the unread section, because no one has responded back to it. So as soon as we send something back, like cool, look forward to talking with you, we hit send. All right, I now go out of the unread section because I have been responded to. Okay, and that's how that's going to work. Now, don't worry about these phone numbers in here. I'll talk about that in another video, and where we talk about call tracking lines, how to create opportunities and all that. That's in a separate video. This is just your basic intro into how this system works. And that actually wraps it up. If you have any questions from after watching this video, first what we ask you to do is to just log in, kind of start messing with it, rewatch the video at certain aspects. I've sent a document attached with this video that has a timeline, so you don't have to watch the whole thing over again. You can just jump to a specific section that you have questions about, rewatch it, get into the software, move some things around, create some test leads, use actual cell phone numbers, and start texting each other through the platform. If you have questions after that, by all means, please send it to your account manager, send it to myself, call into the office. We'll be happy to help you out. Now, I did create another video about these phone numbers and creating the opportunity. I didn't want you to sit through a 45-minute long video, and shove a ton of information at you that you didn't understand. So just reference that video, be sure to watch that one next to go over how everything works. And again, welcome to this new system, and I hope it works great for you guys. Thanks.